Yo, we got one of our candidates running for office right here. Conservative Party, that's right. No doubt, Cape Horn in the house. You got a verse for the moment?
Oh, man.
Sorry, old timers, it's time to make way for the Lord K. Born and his man L.A. The Lord K. Born wishes me on the mic, indicate every lyric that is written is right, coming straight from the head to control this nation.
Yo, what's up, it's your boy? Yo, what's up, it's your boy DJ07 in the house. Today we have a very, very special guest. I've been waiting for this interview for quite some time. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Peace, I be the Lord K. Born, Rap's New Generation, get on up. Also from I Am My Community Inc., also from Behind the Scenes Magazine, Chief Editor in Charge.
Okay, so the thing is that this is actually the online activist interview series, and the thing is that we actually, all the questions that I asked, we had over 100 interviews in this series, and all the questions are the same. So if you feel like these questions were interesting, you can see how other people answer these same questions. All right, so let's start off with this interview. First of all, I'm going to say, how do you start off as an activist? Maybe something happened to you, or maybe like there was a certain cause, you had a first cause that you worked on. What's your beginning as an activist here?
Well, I was born and raised in the Bronx. So, being that I was born in 1968 in the Bronx. So I went through the era where they was burning down the Bronx for the landlords to, recoup with insurance money and things like that. So, and plus, learning from my mother and my father, I was taught that everything is political, all the way from how much money you're gonna get on your SNAP card to what the kids gonna eat in school, how much your rent gonna be, the price of gas. So everything is political, So I've been in politics from the beginning. When you take things like that, when you take it to that extent and that deep, you can say that, I was born into politics.
Just so you know, I also have potentially another interview coming up. This guy's actually has roots with the hip hop, like goes back to the original days. So on a musician level, he's also very interesting. But this is an online activist interview. But it may be part of that. We're going to see how that all comes together. Yeah, I don't doubt that it would, because actually I'm a big fan of his music. How can people check out your music again?
Oh, you know what I'm saying? Look me up on YouTube, anything under K-Born, K-B-O-R-N, Rivers, R-I-V-E-R-S, a river with an S at the end. I got a record out right now called What's Peace. I got a joint, Rap's New Generation, begging for $1. And I got an album getting ready to come out soon. It's called Peace. Streets, then, peace. But, half of it is going to be about promoting peace, positive things like guns away, like What's Peace, like, no more bullying, things like that. And then I got the streets, which is things like Rap's New Generation, Puff Puff Pass, and music like that.
All right, cool. So let's go down to find out more about your activism right here. So the thing is that certain people have different political ideologies that they might claim, which is, so do you have there's different, even like within that, some people say socialist, capitalist, some people say conservative. There's a lot of different ways to look at. Would you define your politics in a certain, or is it aligned with certain principles?
Me, myself, I started off a Democrat. When I got old enough to, I got into Democrats, and then from there I seen that, that wasn't going nowhere. It was the same every year, every time they take somebody out, they put somebody else in. It's the same thing. It's drugs, it's crimes, it's killing, it's gangs. It's like it's getting worse. We digging a deeper hole by going with the same political party. So I got up out of that, and I got with the Green Party when Jill Stein was there. And she was going for president. She did pretty good. But then I seen that, that was the fight, was like, where we going from here? And that fight wasn't going. But nowadays I'm a conservative. And I roll with the conservative party, and just trying to make positive changes and trying to make changes, period. And not being promised every 2 years or 4 years or what's going to happen. And we already know when we did in the booth, voting that nothing is going to happen, that we're going to hear about what's going to happen. And then when the next person comes in 2 or 4 more years, they're going to tell us the same thing, what's going to happen. But in all reality, nothing is happening. And it's been 40 years, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah, this is personally quite fascinating, because I myself have made the exact same trip. I'm telling you right now that generally the Democrats speak what sounds good, and then I found that they were lying all the time. And then I am going to the Greens. That was back in the 90s. I actually have big beef with Jill Stein right now, which is actually interesting. So I'm so glad to hear that you were formerly in the Greens and left them behind. I'm gonna be whapping the Greens with this real hard. Anyways, let's go to the and then now I'm actually rocking with conservatives, hanging out with those guys. One, they're actually third party on the ballot in New York City. They're New York State, quite successful. You know, I mean, if people want to talk about third party, the Greens couldn't hold it down. They're just too weak. They're too concerned with the wrong things.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
The topics,
and taking money for themselves. Where's all that money going? Why can't they hold their ballot status? You know why? Because instead of spending the money on actually building grassroots activists like Johnny Rivers or myself, Jill Stein is traveling around the country with a million. How much did she make again? What are they spending it on? It's on just solely promotion for herself.
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
Yeah, it was only one person being promoted.
Well, yo, I'm serious. And it's really hurting people. Like, yo, honestly, I'm a huge fan of this guy. I and my community actually hosted the first Street Artist Performance Award ceremony. We're gonna do that as a yearly event. Thank you so much. Yo, there's mad stuff going down, folks. But we're gonna keep going on with this interview. First of all, we found out. So your ideology, good to know, right? You're adapting to, what you're given, respect. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. Sometimes people's activism is influenced by a certain previous person, right? It could be, you say we're influenced by family earlier, right? Maybe there's a certain political thinker who's influenced, maybe Malcolm X, Martin Luther King. That would make sense because they're American activists, right? I don't know activists from Korea, but, I've heard of a couple here and there, but, hard to tell what's going on anyways yet. But who's influential to your political thought?
Well, on political thought, on everything thought, first of all, I'm 5%. So, I practice that. So, the father who taught me that, I got to give him his props because, I wouldn't be able to be maintaining and doing the things that I'm doing. So I most definitely give blessings, to the father. So other than that, like, as far as like seeing who was out, Jumaane Williams, it's like, I used to be watching TV, and this one I was in the streets. And every time I watched, man, and it was a crime scene or was something, I'm like, man, who is this dude? And he was there at the shootings, at the robberies. It could be 4 o'clock in the morning. It could be 2 o'clock in the afternoon. He was there before the police. He was there before anybody. Like the streets had to connect to him. And they calling him when something happened, then the police. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, man, who this guy is? So I started looking into it. So I was like, man, I like that. So, that he gave me a push. But then I seen that after he got into higher positions, that no longer existed.
I'm glad you said that because I was
seen,
my man Reverend Keith Gasson?
Probably my face.
He's actually one of the longest wrongfully men in New York State history. I've been working with him for years now. We actually did, he was playing the piano at the event, remember that?
All right, yeah.
I believe he's
OG.
He's one of the longest. He was 32 years wrongfully incarcerated. He was freed by the longest serving state senator in history, Eddie Montgomery. Anyways, he was recently at Jumaane Williams' event because, he was trying to support Brad Lander, who's running for mayor next year. And actually, he was the second person in line. He actually did, it was interesting, 5%ers, we know that they sometimes have some connection with Allah, right? Yeah. And he was yelling at how people with kufis on was actually getting called on, but he wasn't. So it's quite interesting. There is some crossover, but once again, he's done it. But you've worked with Reverend Keith and even helped promote him,
Yeah,
so we're going to all talk and try to make, see where we can go forward with this. I don't think he meant, this guy, but there are some things going on with them controlling and picking and choosing. It goes beyond race or actually the religion and stuff. I mean, although that is definitely a part of it, but, they're using our own kind against us, for real. So
yeah, I think that, a lot of that I see it.
And he's disrupted because Jumaane Williams didn't help in his case.
See, and
convictions.
Yeah, and look, and that's the same thing.
But he stopped helping. You're right.
See, but I feel the same thing because Jumaane Williams, he did a lot, and even when he was going for public advocate or something.
Yeah.
We all helped him. We was his only team that he had in the Bronx, and he won in the Bronx.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And helped push them over. But then when he got in, we had a sister that named Shaniqua Charles. She was running for assembly, and she was the one who really spearheaded the whole thing for his campaign in the Bronx. He didn't show that sister no support. You know what I'm saying? We put together
He's got his white
a
friends
program.
now.
He came through.
he's got his rich friends.
Yeah, he came through, checked it out, but he haven't done anything for the Bronx, and he haven't connected with us. You know, my program, I Am My Community Inc., who did a lot of work for him in the Bronx. You know, he never came back out to
Maybe
do
that's
nothing.
gonna change. I
You
hope
know,
so. Yeah.
you know, I don't like that part. You know, about him nowadays. Also, you know, I like to say that I see that a lot with the Democrats. Like, they run a system whereas they like a gang. So they all run together. So you got, if this politician don't like you, then this politician, this politician, this politician, but you work for the people. You're not supposed to have a choice to who you like and who you don't like when you work for the people. You know what I'm saying? So now you picking and choosing. And I see that the Democrats, all they do is fund the circle of organizations that they're connected to, which is technically speaking a crime.
It's corruption.
You know, so when you go to communities and you have non-profit organizations such as mine, grassroots organizations that saving lives every day, have supply food pantry to the community, feed over 100 families every week, have an open street for the kids to play from 8 o'clock in the morning to 9 o'clock at night for going on the third year, and we haven't seen one politician come through to support it. But when you go across the street, you got ladies, men getting killed, you got all type of crime happening right there, where they invested into organizations and they're giving them millions and millions of dollars, and these organizations is non-effective. You know what I'm saying? The people see it's non-effective, they see it's non-effective, but being that it's in their circle, they're going to continue to fund these programs. And the other programs that's out, the grassroots programs that's really doing the work, they're not going to fund them programs, and they're not going to even support them programs, because then it's going to show the light of what they programs that they are supporting is not doing. You know, we don't got to say what they're not doing. All we got to do is continue to do the work that we're doing, and people just like yourself come around like, damn, and I done did events with, like you just said, you hosted one of your first events, but I got a non-profit organization that don't get no funding, that everything's coming out of my pocket. So these people that's getting all the millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars, those supposed to be the people who are supposed to reach out to you and be like, yo, we willing to help you, yo, come on, host your event right there. But that's not going to happen because you're not in their network of cornballs.
We're going to build our own network then. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, that's exactly what's going on here. So I'm very excited to be working locally with Darnell Helly. Anyways, let's move on to the next question, yeah? So the thing is that now that we're learning, the first half of the interview is really learning about you, and the second half is really learning about, you know, just being an activist. So now that we understand, there's different people who come to this interview series with different levels of experience. So the thing is that, what are you most proud of accomplishing? And some people say, I remember one of the first things you said, that you're a father first. And a lot of people say my kids and stuff like that, but as in terms of, you know, maybe in the activist world, or maybe that's part of being an activist.
Well, you know, like I always say, you know, my kids first. And the reason why I say that is because me, myself, my parents passed when I was young. So I went through a lot of trial and tribulations in life. You know what I'm saying? Even though, you know, I graduated from college, I got business management, you know, I did all that in school. But due to my parents passing away, you know, I ran in the street a lot. I got arrested over 77 times. I done been in group homes, reform schools, county jails, Rikers Island, the feds, you name it, you know, I've been there, you know, but my 5 kids that's from 21 to 37, they haven't experienced any of that, you know what I'm saying? They was able to go to school, they was able to do all they doing, they living on their own, and, you know, they productive people to society. And so by me doing the positive things that I'm doing, I see how it reflected on them. Also in my community. So, you know, that's why I named my program I Am My Community. Because in my community, if I got arrested 77 times, evidently I was leading a whole bunch of people in the wrong direction, including myself. So once I made that transition and started doing the positive things and spending a million more time and more energy doing something positive than I'm doing something negative, if I can get myself into a situation 77 times, I know damn well if I'm doing something positive, I could lead people a million times. Because you're supposed to have more positive energy than you than negative. So once I started doing the positive, the whole community a lot of people changed. So it did see that, you know, the power that I had and the ability that I had to lead people, and I was leading them in the wrong direction, but a lot of people was following. So once I seen I started doing positive things, a lot of people started following. So I had to keep that on. It kept me going on. It's going on 8 years right now, and you know, we saved so many lives every day because we're in the middle of the Bronx. So there's always some type of gang beef. There's always somebody want to get retaliation for this and that, and we be the ones that step in the middle of that, and you know, bring both sides together, and you know, try to find some way so it don't be no more retaliation, don't be no more back and forth shootings. You know, try to make some sense into the matter, and then they trust me because I was actually one of the people that was in the middle of it. So it's not like I'm on the outside sticking my nose in somebody's business that I don't know nothing about. Right. You know what I'm saying? I'm actually speaking about, and the people can trust me, and they're gonna hear me out because they're like, yo, he know. Because you know, even when their parents come, their parents be like, yo, he know. If anybody else know, he know, because they watched me when I was going in the police car, getting locked up and going through all the foolishness. So, you know, just trying to be a step ahead of the game. And with us doing that, and we've been doing it for going on 8 years, you would think that the politicians, the local politicians in our community would be 100% behind us. Because the $1 million in the programs that they got is doing none of that. You know, and these is anti-violence programs that's their job. Your job's supposed to be saving lives. You know, I just don't get it, man. So, you know, that right there, and just me being, like I said, being a person that experienced all the stuff, the last thing I want to do is watch you experience. So, you know what I'm saying? So, a wise person can learn from his mistakes or her mistakes, but a wiser person learn from the mistakes of others. So I'm the one that took the stripes. I took the 77 times. I did the jail bids and all that. You ain't got to do it. All you got to do is listen to what I'm telling you, and you can prevent all that. You know, and you want to hear about it? I'll tell you what happened there. You don't got to go there and be the first-hand experience and be like, oh, what happened when you was here? Because you may not be as lucky as I was. You know what I'm saying? People get killed in jail every day. All types of stuff happen to people in jail. And you don't want to be the one to put your life on a scale to see, is it going to happen to me? Or am I going to survive? Because nobody can answer that question for you. Nobody can answer that question for you. Because when you inside the jails, everybody else knows what's going to happen except for the person that it's going to happen to. Because the tension is in the air and you can smell it until something is about to pop on you. So, you know, that's how I go, man. So, I always advise people that, you know, listen to the OGs, listen to your parents, and listen to people that experience things that you on the way to experience if you stay in the game. Yeah. Or it can be positive too. You know, if you want to be a teacher, the best person to learn from, you don't want to go to a construction worker and ask about something about a teacher. You want to go to the teachers and find some friends or some, you know, some mentors in that profession so they can lead you in the right direction. Sure. You know, and it's the same thing when you're dealing with on the streets, you know what I'm saying?
Let's move to the next question over here, right? Yeah, usually the interview goes for about an hour. So just want to make sure that it fits, oh, that's not bad. We're actually ahead of schedule. Okay, my bad.
All right, come on, let's go.
Okay, so the next part actually, now considering the audience, we have different audience, and let's focus now on people that are watching that actually would need to become an activist themselves. Maybe they're going through an issue, they feel like they need to change for some reason, they need attention to their issue. So, what do you think the most effective things that activists can do?
First of all, you gotta be about your word. Your word should be your bond. That's first of all. You know what I'm saying? Don't go out there lying to the people. And that's usually what's going on. You know, you lying to the people, you put false promises. Nobody want to be lied to. Nobody don't want to be led in the wrong direction. You know, thinking something and you got your hopes all up and then pow, somebody stick a pin in your balloon. You know what I'm saying? All the air come out you. So, you know, and that's what's going on. So you want to be about your word. But nobody can build you to be an activist. You know, that's just something that got to come within you. You got little kids that's, you know, they activists. You know, you got people that's, you know, you got to find the cause that you want to fight for. And it got to be at the right time. And nobody can tell you what it is. You know, it's just in you. And you're going to be like, man, listen, man, I'm tired of this, man. Or I'm tired of that. And then, you know, I don't feel that nobody else is doing this right or nobody else ain't doing that. And guess what my mom used to tell me? If you feel that this ain't going right and you feel that that ain't going right, and and Elf ain't doing this, and K-Born ain't doing that, and Brother John ain't doing that to your ability, all right, well, you get out and learn how to do it, and you do it.
Right.
And that's basically what it is, man. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so I'm just gonna ask about. I'm just gonna like close in on that. So, within the, I know there's three things that you've done recently. One of them is run for office.
Yes.
Another one is you have that I Am My Community thing that we talked about earlier, where you actually have the block, set for stuff. You also have your kids making shirts.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So you also
yeah, we got to show.
you teach a skill right there. Right. Yeah. They're learning about how to use different systems, stuff like that, which is very cool. You also have recently traveled.
Yeah.
And you're making networks outside, right? Yeah, outside in New York. Which one of these do you think is the most effective thing that you're doing right now? Or which one of those do you think is the best return for someone else who's trying to be an activist themselves? They're trying to figure it out. They know they want to do it, but they just don't know exactly where to start, or where they feel like, how can they get their issue addressed?
Well, like me, I use everything and put it together. Like, I've been making records since 1987. I made a smash hit called Rap's New Generation. So that means I know a lot of people. So if I know a lot of people, I can network that and use that for my community thing. I can use that to save lives. Because being that if somebody in this part of town got a problem with somebody in this part of town, y'all may not basically know each other as, besides the drama. But somebody was my fan over here, and somebody was my fan over here.
Yeah.
So I'm able to go on that side and speak, and they're like, oh yeah, and I'm able to go on this side. So I can use that to my best ability.
Yeah.
And push it forward.
One of my favorite styles of rap is the ruthless style of rap, where people just go for it. You know what I mean? Actually, can you drop a line from New Generation?
Yeah, I can jump a line.
Go ahead. Yeah. Drop it on.
Sorry, old timers, it's time to make way for the Lord K-Born and my man L.A. The Lord K-Born wishes me on the mic, indicate every lyric that is written is right. Coming straight from the head to control this nation. The classical 2 is rap's new generation. Developing skills, inventing concepts, releasing my talent and set after set. Achieving and believing that this style will work with T-R on the beats, we can't get jerked. All my rhymes are operated in a form exclusively fresh in the name of K-Born. This is a demonstration and also my creation. The classical 2 is in his own generation, rap's new generation.
Yeah,
get on up. Get on up. And let me get back to that question. The main thing that I really try to focus on, because you can't put nothing together if you ain't saving lives. If you ain't alive, how could you do something? So, a lot of times you get into like the politicians that come up to me and I'll be like, yo, why you ain't helping the program? Why you ain't helping fund me and help me save lives? They answer me, oh, did you see the big, the $1 billion infrastructure that we haven't built down here? Or did you see this? That infrastructure means nothing if the people are dead. You can have the biggest high-rise apartment and you can be renting it for $2 a month. But if everybody is dead, who's gonna pay you $2? So public safety and saving lives should always be number one. And then another thing I push hard is mental health awareness. Because I feel that the root of most crimes in most situations is come from some type of untreated mental health problem. In which we know that, 1 out of 4 people is suffering from some kind or some sort of mental health disability. It could be from anxiety. You can be a kleptomaniac, you can be a pyromaniac, you can eat too much, you can eat too little. So many different things other than when somebody say, oh, I got a mental health problem, you automatically think, oh, he crazy, or she crazy. That's not always the issue, you know what I'm saying? So mental health awareness is big on me, and saving lives is big on me, because nothing can, how can we have a party if nobody's dead? Because they all dead from gun violence or street crime or any other unnecessary.
That's it. Yeah. Say it again so that I'll just clip it together.
I said that. Mental health awareness is big to me, and saving lives, because if nobody's here, what's sense having a party? If nobody's dead, because everybody's dead from gun violence, or they're dead from in a gang, or they're dead from a drug overdose, or they're dead from just all type of foolishness that's going on and been going on underneath the control of the Democrats.
Yep, that's definitely true. All right, so let's move on to the thing is that sometimes people will join different organizations trying to get help, right? Like they have eviction problem, they join the housing thing, they're, dealt with the gun violence, maybe they went to a gun violence, who knows, right? Yeah. And then they may have the experience where they feel like they're not really getting enough help, or they feel like the organization should be doing something different or whatever, right? I'm sure that you've run some organizations, you've had, run campaigns, stuff like that. You put together some really, ill events. So what do you, if someone comes to the organization, they feel like their needs are not really being met, how would you actually advise them to try to, what are best practices for organizations to make sure that their members' needs are met?
Well, first of all, you got to know what you're going there for. You know what I'm saying? And what I mean by that is like, a lot of people, the average person that walk around don't even know what district they live in.
Yeah.
They don't know who's their local assemblyman. They don't know who their local congressman. They don't know what community board they are under, and they lived in the building for 20 years. So you know what I'm saying? You gotta know specifically what you're looking for. Then you gotta also keep in mind that if it's one, it's two. So it's just like with your health, when you gotta go get a second opinion, sometimes you gotta go get a second opinion. So when you find out one way, you find out the other way. Now you gotta see which one is gonna work to your ability. Sometimes you gotta go to 3 or 4 different organizations until you can find what you looking for. And then at the end of the day, if you can't do all that, you gotta do like I do. Do it yourself. You know what I'm saying? You gotta get out there and do it yourself. The mayor and all of them had the Cure Violence program. I worked with the Cure Violence program for about 2 years, but then I seen, their main focus was gun violence. And I see that me being from the Bronx and in my community is more, it's gun violence too, but it's also people on drugs. It's also a large amount of people that's homeless. It's also a large amount of people that have mental health disabilities, have criminal court cases, have divorces, have a whole bunch of more things that's other than gun violence. So that's why I left that and I started my own program called I Am My Community. So now with I Am My Community, I can tackle all the things that's happening in my community.
Yeah.
And if I can't do it, I can send you to somebody, use the network, one hand wash the other.
All right.
So basically, that's what it is, man. And then, also, you got to keep in mind, like I said, underneath this Democrat system, it's like a gang. So they all together. So you got all the way down to, I'll give you a prime example, I didn't even want to be on the community board. The community board came to me, or they seen all the work I was putting in the community. They see my program. They see I got the pantry and all that. So the community board came to me, and they wanted me to be on the community board. I went through, I sent them all my stuff. Everybody was happy with flying colors. Then they sent it to the borough president, Vanessa Gibson. Vanessa Gibson sent me a letter saying that I can't be on it. And she gave me some old lame excuse where basically she shouldn't be the one controlling the board because you're not from our community. And if the people from my community is electing and saying that I'm a leader in my community, who are you that live way down somewhere else to, control what's going on in my community?
That's
when
true.
you're not supporting, funding, nor doing anything to save not one life in my community. So, it's things like that that's going on. She's dead wrong, and I think it's illegal. The people was telling me I could have filed the case because she had the right, but I'm not here to cause no problems. I'm here to try to prevent some problems. I'm here to try to save lives and things like that. So I just let it go and wish I should not let it go because then when somebody else is going to keep on continuing to happen to other people,
Yeah. All right. So that's great. So now the thing is that we want to find out what's your how can people stay on top of your work? We have like a website. We have.
Oh yeah, you can look me up everywhere. Like I said, you can even look me up the Kborn, Kborn Rivers, Rivers. You can look me up under Donnie Rivers, Darney, like Barney, but with a D. Rivers, Rivers, or you can look me up at I Am My Community Inc. INC.
Okay.
Regular I Am AM My NY Community and INC.
Okay, now that people have that information, the last question is going to be, what do they have to look forward to? You got any projects coming up? What's your why should they follow? What's going on?
Well, like I said, we got the block blocked off every day. We got big events always, especially on the weekend. This weekend we got a vending event going on. We always have a big Halloween event where over 200-300 people come to the block, probably more than that. You know, I'm running for assembly, so, you know, putting that work in there right there. I got my new album coming out. I'm also the head editor of Behind the Scenes magazine. So, you know, you can look us up right there, Behind the Scenes magazine, and look up K-Born Rivers. You're gonna see I'm the head editor. And I'm just trying to stay focused and stay working and stay, you know, pushing.
All right. Yo, you not do a back to school block party?
Yes, we got a bigger.
Oh, snap.
We got a big event. Like I said, we got a vending event.
Yeah.
This Sunday on the block, which is 54 Evelyn Place in the Bronx. But then we also got a big, giant back to school event in Poe Park, which is on 192nd in the Grand Concourse. And that's going to be this Saturday too.
Can we do it at the
12 o'clock in the
Can we do it at the
afternoon
vending
to 8 o'clock.
place? The place where the vending is?
Yeah.
Yo, maybe we do another one, yeah?
It sounds good.
We setting up one on 20th at Upper Place.
Yeah, that's on
I'm
Saturday.
gonna try to get you in that one. Yeah, this has been a dope interview. I'm a big fan of this guy. Definitely check out his stuff. K-Born.
Peace.
I expect to be doing future work with this guy.
That's right. We'll do a lot of work.
Yeah. All right. Peace.
It's a dark day in our nation when high-level authorities will seek to use every method to silence dissent. The truth must be told.
And if you want the truth, you need to check out independent media producers just like myself, DJ L7. You should subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notifications when I release a new video.
Truth of these
We are
words
on all
is
the major
beyond
platforms.
doubt.
That includes Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course YouTube. Unfortunately, we have definitely seen that these mainstream outlets will cave to corporate interests, so we encourage you to join our independently moderated communities of Reddit and Discord. We also encourage you to subscribe to us on BitChute and Dailymotion so you can see the content that YouTube doesn't want us to let you see. Hey, now it's time for the most important part of the video. That's right. It's time for us to tell you about the Taking Action Group. Do you need an activist? Or maybe there's no activists around willing to help you with your cause and you need to learn to become an activist. That's exactly why we're here. Every week we get up with people from across the nation, in fact even sometimes internationally, and we develop strategies and a game plan to address the issues that are affecting all of us. Every week myself from New York City and of course my co-host Lisa from Los Angeles provide a coast-to-coast perspective on what's going on in the country. If you want to donate to help out with expenses, travel, equipment, stuff like that, then I definitely appreciate it, and you can hit us off at Venmo or PayPal. Thanks a lot. Hey, by the way, we also have a merch store, so check it out. Oh my goodness, it seems like you've reached the end of the video, so make sure you check out some of our other videos, make sure you subscribe. This is your last chance to do so thanks a lot, and looking forward to seeing you on the next one. Hope you guys enjoyed. Please comment below if you have any questions or issues you'd like me to address. And if you're an activist, the time to make things happen is now.